Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have something so exciting to show you guys, and this whole day I've been waiting to show you guys the Widowmaker. I took this car out for a spin today. Wow, Rob! Wow! What an amazing drive from this car itself. What an episode to actually feature this type of a car. I'm so chuffed with the fact that we actually restored this beauty to look this way. And driving it right now just makes me love my job so much. Guys, 930 Porsche, first turbo car ever produced. What an amazing car. You can hear it in my voice, the excitement right now from just driving this baby right now. Stay tuned to this video to watch all the things that actually has been done on this car. And I'm just loving it right now, watching the sunshine, watching the clouds in this paint right now like a mirror. It's amazing. We're gonna talk about this car today. Stay tuned, guys. Come, let's go, Rob. Let's go and enjoy the car, man. And now I know why they call it the Widowmaker. Shade, a lot to discuss today, eh? When you look at this car and you think about everything and this whole iconic shape that we've been talking about this whole time. What do you think, man?
Mo, the first time when you see this car, firstly because of the color, the stance, for all of you guys that know, everybody wants the Porsche from Bad Boys.
Yes.
The Bad Boys Porsche.
The Bad Boys Porsche.
But that was the second generation of what we have now, yeah.
Yeah.
This is so iconic because this was the original, the first 911 turbo that Porsche made for the road.
Yeah, first 911 turbo, guys, known as the 930 Widowmaker. And this car is so significant when you look at the pieces and the way this car is put together. And if you take it for a drive like me, you'll have goosebumps sitting there the whole time. This car is amazing, and there's just so much to discuss on this car today, eh?
Mo, but Widowmaker. Why Widowmaker?
Shai, it's that feeling when you drive this car and you take it for a spin, and all of a sudden at a certain RPM it just boosts, so it catches you almost unexpected. Now when I look at it, we understand turbos today, we understand the lag in the turbo today, so we kind of compensate knowing that you're going to have this kick in. But I can imagine being the first turbo Porsche ever launched, to have taken this car for a spin those years and taking it and just experiencing the way that suspension reacts, and when the turbo boosts in, what sort of a feeling it was there. And the rain is another story.
And the understeer.
And the understeer. So imagine taking this car out those years, coming from being the first Porsche being turboed, and then all of a sudden getting that boost in, and then dropping it into second gear, staying into the boost line. You can imagine what happened in the back. And that's where they lost control, and that's why they called it the Widowmaker.
Ah, so that's where the name came from. And it has stuck, eh? I mean, as you go along, all the iconic Porsches, every generation, one of them refer back to the Widowmaker.
And this guy has become very popular in the shop itself, because a lot of guys, you guys love to take the tour at Glassworks. You guys are always coming here to check out the cars and see what's true and what's not true. And when you guys take a look at these, when you guys walk into the studio and you look at this car, I mean, many of you are left speechless. And it's that sort of a piece. When you look at this car, it still looks so Porsche today, yet the shape is so old. They've never gotten rid of the shape.
It's so iconic. And you know, it was at the time when it came out, if I'm not mistaken, it was the fastest production car in Germany.
Yes, that is
right?
one of the stats, yes.
And everyone looked at it, and this shape, but it was competing with supercars.
Yeah.
It was actually beating the supercars.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a shape that was a supercar shape. And I think that's what makes it so iconic. And that shape has stood the test of time, because if we take the latest generation of Porsche, the lines, the silhouette is still there, still the same from this car.
Yeah, those fenders, those wide fenders in the back, which is the iconic fenders that's used in every Porsche.
Every Porsche now has the wide fenders at the back. Yeah. When you're sitting in a Porsche, you're sitting basically on the rear axle.
Yeah.
And that's why, and with the engine behind you, whereas every other car, engines in the front.
Yes.
Or if it's a rear mounted, it's a bit further away from you. Mm-hmm. This, the engine is quite close to you. So I think it also helps with the balance of the car.
Definitely. That's the reason why it's the Widowmaker, because the next generation was the movie you guys all love, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, Bad Boys. So yeah, you guessed it right. It's very similar to the Bad Boys. In fact, the shape is almost identical. There were a few things they changed, obviously, with the oversteering. They changed the suspension. They changed a bit of the bumper look. They put more aerodynamics on the car, but pretty much looks exactly the same car. And yeah, when you look at this car, you think Bad Boys. And I mean, for me, when I watched the movie the first time and I seen this shape, I was like really young and it looked amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So Mo, when this car came in,
yeah,
I know you guys spent a lot of time on it. You've done a lot of work on it.
Too much.
Just talk us through the process and tell us, when the client brought the car in, what was your impression and what did you do on the car?
So Shahid, you know, always the expression is when you see this car for the first time, no matter what the condition is, it puts a big smile on your face. It's just a beautiful looking piece. I mean, we're so used to looking at 3 to 5i BMWs in our shop, and when you rock up with one like this, we're like, wow, what is this, you know? And it was that sort of a feel. And the client is a very good client and he loves to restore cars the way he likes it to be done. And when we looked at this car, obviously and went through the assessment phase, we realized that this car is in already pretty good nick.
Okay.
It was well looked after. I mean, everything was there. Everything was still assembled onto the car. There weren't any parts missing or anything withered away. So it was actually a nice restoration. So we didn't actually go the whole mile when we say the whole bolt and nut process. And I mean, you guys know now, our whole bolt and nut process means stripping the car right down to pieces and just bare chassis. With this car, we thought we'll kind of go a different route. We'll try and restore paint, because paint needed it, being 30 some odd year old car.
Probably 40 years.
Yeah, even a little more than that. So we decided, okay, fine, we're not going to go really into that whole restoration phase. We can save some money. There's still good parts on this car, and we don't have to kind of restore everything and still keep it in that originality range. So we went into the paint. Paint was a very significant part of this car, because, you know, that's where obviously we specialize. Yeah. And when it comes to paint, you know, we take that serious, and that's one of our biggest focuses on when it comes to paint. So we went down to the whole metal pin, file, pull the panels, and going through the panel work on the car. And when you usually look at any car that comes in and that has so many years to it, you know, there were so many smashes on the car, because you look at it and you say, okay, see how much body filler were actually put onto this.
Yeah.
Here, Shahid, I can tell you maybe about 15%.
Okay.
In certain panels.
So it was a well looked after.
Very well looked after car. So
Mo, two things I'm getting out of our conversation here is, firstly, you don't only work on 3 to 5s and BMWs.
Yeah.
So anyone that has any car out there that would like to do a restoration can bring their car. It's not exclusively only BMWs.
So it started off like that, and when you look at our shop, I would say 80% is BMWs. Anyone, whenever you walk into that door, you say, but you guys only have BMs, whether it's E30s or it's the newer BMs, but there's always BMs lined up. But yes, we do so many other, I mean, in front of you, you're looking at a piece of candy right now, and that's a 458 Italia that we just finished restored. So we have GT3s, we have couple of, two of this now. We have this 911, 930, and then we got the 930 Carrera as well, which we're busy with now on the restoration. And then there's SL55s, older Mercs, Pagodas, you name it, whatever comes in, and there's there's parts and availability, and we can be creative enough either to restore it back to that originality that we speak to, or sometimes it's a custom build. Whatever it is, we take on the work because it's passion at the end of the day to try and make something happen.
And then another thing, Mo, so it's not only nuts and bolt restorations that's done at Glassworks. So if I come in, I have a car in decent nick, I can bring it here. You do your assessment, you give me what you need to do, and we can work accordingly. So if it just needs only a spray job, it's a spray job. So it's not just nuts and bolts.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a very tricky one with us here at Glassworks, because most of the guys always want to bring a car back to that original look, or they want it restored back to brand new. So brand new would be always the thing that the guy is looking for when he owns any sort of a car. So with the BMWs, fortunately, there's a lot of spares and availability, and every single car doesn't have to go down to the rotisserie. You know, there are certain things that could be done from a perspective of what is my budget right now, what can you guys accommodate with me with my budget right now, and how can we help and assist in order to get the car to a certain specification. Where that goes wrong, Shahid, in certain ways is like, for instance, if you have a 325 IS now, we're stripping the car right down to a bare metal with us, because with our paint jobs, you know, we want to get inside and outside. So you say change color, we start to change the color of the car, and by changing color of the car, you have to get rid of the engine, you have to get rid of the motor, you have to take that out, you have to take out the suspension, you have to take out the interior. So you've now gone down to basically chassis. So now we've decided to put color on the car, and now all the trims are still the old trims, the seats are not recovered, it's still the old seats, old carpet. Then you realize, but wow, I have this amazing looking paint job and all the components of my car is not new. So automatically when we've done that, then people automatically said, but Mo, this doesn't look right. You're going to have to do the whole entire car. And we say, and nowadays we advise for that before we even start. We say, guys, remember something. The paint is going to be brand new. You rather budget for the process, do the process correctly one time. This 930 is very different in that regard, because this car is different to any other car, because when we received this car and it came into the shop, like I said, it was in very good nick. So interior obviously needed work, being an old car, so we've redone the whole interior. But as you go through and you start seeing this car with me, you'll realize, like with the interior work itself, there wasn't where we had to replace leather. We take the leather, we restore the leather in terms of our whole painting process. You see that whole restoration phase that we go through when we do our leather work, and that's what we've done. The dashboard we restored, the seats were restored, the carpets were already in good nick. And then obviously you go down to the motor, and it's so many years, and then we said, okay, let's pull out the motor, but let's just detail parts of the motor that actually makes it look clean and nice. So stuff like that, it didn't go on a rotisserie. It wasn't necessary to go into a rotisserie, and we wanted to still keep the car within, it had to have some love marks, you know, we wanted to have some love marks on this car.
That's what adds the value to it.
Yes,
it's a 45-year-old car. So Mo, here at Glassworks, there's always an emphasis on paint, and all the viewers will know every episode when we speak about the cars, Mo is so passionate about the paint. What makes your paint work here at Glassworks stand out?
So yeah, that's a good question. But Shahid, whoever knows me out there, and whoever done my courses, and whoever came into the training academy knows that paint is the ultimate goal. We always trying to make paint look at its best possible finish. And this car is a perfect example for you guys to actually see that super gloss. I mean, let's just look at the characteristics here on this paint, Shahid. When you look at this paint and you look at this car, I mean, the view that we're looking at right now, is it not just so reflective?
It's beautiful. And the nice thing, which I'm not too sure if the camera can pick up, is the lights in the studio, the lines are so straight and they're so reflective. And there's absolutely no haze and absolute clarity. And as a detailer, that's where we come in, Mo. When we refining paint or correcting paint, we first get it with a bit of haze, and we try and refine and refine and refine till it's clear. And I think maybe that's why you are so pedantic when it comes to the finished article.
Yes.
Is as a detailer, you want the paint to be perfect.
Yeah. So we come from detailing backgrounds. We teach people to become detailers, and we look for detail when it comes to this, and we're very finicky. And like I was explaining you earlier, there's what you call passion and obsession. And I think we're obsessed with getting these type of finishes, because you look at this guy and you look at that orange peel texture and you think to yourself, it's just so perfectly thrown over the entire car. And then you go back to when this car was produced. This car was actually produced with with 2K paint.
Okay.
So it's a one-stage paint. I mean, this is base coat, clear coat. And base coat, clear coat adds so much more character, because you almost have that depth, like it looks like you can dive into the paint sort of a look. And that's what I love, because period correct would be a 2K paint. Okay. I mean, 2K paint was there, but 2K is almost like just on the top because of the one-step process of paint. But you look at this and you almost feel like, wow, I'm looking right through the car.
With 2K paint, you'll never get this finish.
No way, right? No way. You know, this 2K paint has changed with manufacturers for many, many, many years. I think the truck market and some of the lower range bakkies would still use, or some panel shops that's trying to save cost would go the 2K way. But base coat, clear coat is the real look. It's definitely the real way to go, because when you look at the base coat, clear coat like the shade, you can see the reflection on the paint itself, that depth which we like diving into the paint, and that wet look.
Yeah,
you can see it. The wet look is amazing, you know. And for me, I think paint is one of my weaknesses. It always has to be super nice, super strong, and I think that's what makes Glassworks as a whole, because you cannot come to Glassworks without going out with a good paint job.
Yeah. But more also the quality of the paint and the quality of the clear coat that you use is very important, right?
Only the best shade, you know that. Only the best, and that's something we on a regular basis always make sure that we have the best of the paints, and we always want the best of the clear coats as well. So it's never just saying I want to go and use Glazeret paint and I just want a Glazeret clear coat. We'll always look for the best clear coats in the Glazeret range in order to give us the best finishes on the car itself.
For every car, it could be different.
Yeah. And then you also can go down to asking the question of, you know, just booth health. Booth health for me is so important, because you never get these sort of finishes if you don't have booth health. Now, that's one of our frequent discussions here at Glassworks, and we change those filter shade. It's a costly thing to change filters, but we do it on a weekly basis. Okay. We change those floor filters, we change the roof filters, we make sure we clean all the walls on the booth, we mask those walls with anti-static, and I think that's why we get these finishes where you don't have to polish and cut all of the clear coat off the car. You still can leave that clear coat right there on the car with a simple, just 1 or 2 dust marks on the car, just a simple block on that dust, and then you just polish the car to get that finishes. So that in turn helps you as a detailer. You know, when your job as a detailer is to save clear coat.
Yeah.
That is the most significant part of any detailing studio or any detailer, is to save paint. Yeah. So with us, we're giving you all that paint, we're measuring it in microns, we're delivering it onto the finish itself, and we're saying just denub and polish.
Okay.
So you have full life on that paint.
Yeah.
And that's what actually stands out when you ask the question, Mo, how does your paint work stand out? That's what we put into paint work.
So this paint work is good for another 50 years on this car?
100%. So today, driving this car, you know, that felt really good. Like I said, you know, it felt amazing, and it just felt like, you know, we're so used to driving 325 IS, and you're always getting everyone, you know, whistling at every corner and saying wow and jumping out in it. But this was a whole different feel. It's because it's not expected. People don't just see this car on a daily basis, and the response we got from this car was amazing.
And Mo, how was the driving a 4-speed manual gearbox? Because these ones had a 4-speed manual gearbox.
Yeah.
And I think the last the last few that they produced in 1989,
yes,
before this model ended, was a 5-speed.
5-speed. That was the one model, like you say, last that actually was produced.
But this is the 4-speed.
This is the 4-speed.
And how was it driving the 4-speed?
So
it must be long gearing.
It's long gears. It's got leg, and then it just boosts. I mean, it sounds good. It pulls well. It's such an amazing car to drive, and I mean, if you look at everything restored on the Sky, it looks practically like a brand new car. And that paint on the car, that color of the car, I mean, just, you know, sitting from here, you can see the whole bonnet, and looking at that reflection from the trees and everything around me, it's just so amazing. I mean, here, this motor I mean, you're talking 1980s, this car being produced in the 1980s, and you're thinking of the new GT3s and all the new cars that we've done recently. This car is so period correct and so advanced for its time that, you know, I don't think there's anyone that can actually drive this car and not feel so amazing. Wow. What do you think? What do you think of the drive thus far?
Beautiful. I love how it feels. I love the sound of the engine.
It's amazing. I mean, listen to this. And watch that turbo kick in. It's just like completely boosts, you know. This car is so amazing. And when you're driving it, you know, there's the steering wheel feels so good, the engine sounds so amazing, and you just want to continue driving this car. You know, there was a lot of talk about this car those years being the Widowmaker, and now you can actually understand when they say the Widowmaker, it's because of how many guys actually took this car for granted. Because when you see this turbo kicking, it's got leg until 4,000 RPM, and at 4,000 RPM it just spools. And then you hook it into the next gear and you just think, wow, you know, this car is on a different level, you know. And I think that's why so many people actually went to this car, because at that time when Porsche released there was no other turbo cars, and this was one of their first turbo generations. That's if my history is correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but that's what I understand of this car. But to me, it just puts a smile on my face, and I'm just so, you know, I was just speaking to Rob now, and I think we're just so grateful to actually be doing such beautiful cars and to actually bring these or restore these cars back to their originality. Because when you look at it, it's an amazing car, and it's not very common. You don't see many of this. So you do see the Bad Boys one, and this car is pretty much very similar to the Bad Boys Porsche. Obviously aerodynamic suspension, and that was a whole new generation. But from the looks and from that perspective, yes, it's very much there. This is the beginning of that particular Porsche. So I'm loving it, Rob. I mean, you know, how long are we driving actually this car now?
I'm loving it. I wish I could drive. Let's go.
It's amazing. It's like you don't want to get out of this car. We should rather speak to the owner and say he must leave it with us.
Everything needs to check.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of money though to spend to get this car. Yeah, no, wow. Loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. It's amazing. It's awesome. This guy is really awesome. Yeah, let's give it a bit of a boost there. Oh, don't think I want to really boost it. You know, but I mean, I think it's awesome, really. I say, but I didn't have that opportunity to take it too far. We just took it around here, but you're more scared than anything else because of the value of this car. And especially when you just feel like everything came together 100%, the car looks so amazing, and now you're thinking of taking it on the road, there's no PPF on it, and you're thinking one stone chip is going to cost a whole repair there. And for me, I just like...
And you don't want to find out why it's called the Widowmaker.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to find that out. Definitely, I definitely don't want to find that out. Yeah.
And more another detail that's sticking out are the wheels.
Yeah, lovely.
It's so period correct. It's the original wheels.
Yeah.
I think this is the Fuch, that's how you say it, Fuch style.
Fuch, yeah.
Porsche 16-inch original turbo wheels, right?
Yes.
Did you have to source these wheels, or did the car come with these wheels?
So Shahid, this car is spec'd the way you see the car spec'd, and I mean the wheel was one of the parts that actually stand out because it's exactly the wheel that's supposed to be on this car. I know the Bad Boys wheel is also, when you look at that wheel, it's so much more modern than this wheel itself, but this one is right for this car. I think it's period correct. It's how you remember this car actually coming out in its time, and it's just a beautiful, that dish look is like, I think, resembles every dish that came out afterwards.
No, it's beautiful.
Just not a split wheel in terms of us seeing the studs go through, but that resemblance and 16-inch.
Porsche has released the classic, the heritage or the classic collections every now and then, and all of them have that similar style wheel, because it's so iconic, right?
No, love it. And even the seat shade, did you see those seats, how the design of it? Till today, when you look at like a brand new GT3 RS, it still has the same style, it still has the same back, it's still, they haven't changed the shape really, you know? When you look at the shape, there's not major changes to the shape when you look at it. I mean, it's still Porsche's heritage.
Why change something that works?
100%. And beautiful, you know, every time you think, okay, where can you really go with this now? Because you've done every single look, and then you see, oh wow, look at the bigger lights now in a 992. That just looks amazing with that wide line running with those lights, you know. So yeah, I think
it is iconic, and I think what's nice with Porsche is that at anywhere you go, you can recognize a Porsche.
Yeah, definitely.
Whereas you look at like your BMWs, your Mercedes-Benz, every generation or every series that comes out, the whole shape changes.
Yeah.
And you have to first get used to that shape before you recognize it's a BMW or a Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah.
But with a Porsche, see the one that's 45 years old or see the latest one, automatically you know it's a Porsche.
Yeah. It's a Porsche, it's just their design, it's their landmark, it's their way. So there you have it, guys. If you liked this video, please click on that like and subscribe button. We thank you guys once again for watching our videos, and we hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making this video. So guys, coming up in the next video, we're thinking of introducing our Italian stallion, a Ferrari 458 Italia that we just completed with a restoration right now, and we think this paint is something amazing to actually look at. So stay tuned, guys, and we see you guys next time.